It was a Monday morning in July. London, 1986. A young woman got dressed, wrote a single entry in her work diary, and walked out the front door. She was never seen again. Her name was Suzy Lamplugh. Everyone called her Suzy. She was 25 years old, a London estate agent, full of life, and in a matter of hours, she would become the center of one of Britain's most haunting cold cases. A case that has never been solved. Tonight, we go looking for Suzy. To understand what happened to Suzy, you first have to understand who she was. Suzy Lamplugh was not someone you forgot easily. She was bright, ambitious, the kind of person who filled a room. Born in 1961, she grew up in a comfortable family in England, trained as a beautician, worked on ocean liners, and eventually landed a job as a negotiator at Sturgis Estate Agents in Fulham, West London. She was good at it. She was confident with clients, professional beyond her years, and completely unafraid. Her mother, Diana Lamplugh, would later say that Suzy never felt fear the way others did. She trusted people. She believed, genuinely believed, that the world was fundamentally good. It was one of the things people loved most about her. And on the morning of Monday, the 28th of July, 1986, that trust may have cost her everything. It began, as most ordinary days do, with a diary. At some point that morning, Suzy made a single appointment entry. She wrote, Mr Kipper, 37 Shorrolds Road, 12:45. That was it. No full name, no phone number, no company, just Mr Kipper. Now, in the estate agent world of 1986, this wasn't entirely unusual. Viewings were often arranged quickly, informally. A client calls, you write it down, you go. But looking back, the name Mr Kipper strikes a cold note. It is almost certainly not a real name. Some have speculated it was a code word. Others believe it was an alias, used deliberately by someone who knew exactly what they were planning. At around 12:30 that afternoon, Suzy left the office. Her colleagues watched her go. She was smartly dressed, as always. She took her company car, a white Ford Fiesta, and she drove to 37 Shorrolds Road, a residential property listed for sale. She was never seen alive again. When Suzy didn't return to the office that afternoon, her colleagues weren't immediately alarmed. Viewings ran over. Clients talked too long. It happened. But as the hours passed and Suzy didn't call, didn't come back, a quiet unease began to settle over the office. By early evening, police were notified. They went to 37 Shorrolds Road. The house was empty, unlocked for viewings, as was common at the time. Inside, nothing. No signs of a struggle, no Suzy. Her white Ford Fiesta was found later, parked 2 streets away from the property. And here is where things get strange. The driver's seat was pushed further back than Suzy would have needed, as if someone taller had been driving it. The car had been moved after she arrived at the property. Someone had driven that car, and it wasn't Suzy. The Metropolitan Police launched one of the largest missing person investigations Britain had seen. Over 26,000 house-to-house inquiries were made. Thousands of people were interviewed. The case was front-page news for weeks. And yet, nothing. No body, no suspect in custody, no clear motive, just a name in a diary. Mr Kipper. One suspect emerged early, a man named John Cannan, a convicted rapist and charming, manipulative con man who was on weekend release from prison at the time of Suzy's disappearance. Cannan had a known habit of using the nickname Kipper.
Everything is going to be just fine, Kipper.
A term of endearment he used with women he targeted. He was good-looking, persuasive, exactly the type Suzy would have had no reason to fear as a client. Investigators became increasingly convinced that Cannan was their man. He was later convicted of the murder of another young woman, Shirley Banks, in 1987. And yet, he was never charged with Suzy's disappearance. Because without a body, there was no case. Cannan has always denied involvement. He has never confessed, and Suzy has never been found. Perhaps the most devastating part of this story is not the mystery itself. It is the people left to live inside it. Suzy's mother, Diana Lamplugh, refused to let her daughter become a forgotten name. In 1986, she founded the Suzy Lamplugh Trust, a charity dedicated to personal safety and the prevention of violence. It still operates today. For years, Diana fought tirelessly to keep Suzy's case in the public eye. She appeared on television, she wrote books, she lobbied Parliament. She turned grief into purpose. In 1993, 7 years after the disappearance, Suzy was officially declared dead, presumed murdered. Diana accepted it. But accepting death and accepting the absence of answers are two very different things. Diana Lamplugh passed away in 2011. She never learned what happened to her daughter. She never learned where Suzy was. That silence is perhaps the cruelest part of all. Over the decades, several theories have emerged about where Suzy's remains might be. In 2002, police excavated the garden of a property in Cannan's former area of activity. Nothing was found. In 2018, further searches were conducted based on new tip-offs. Again, nothing. Some investigators believe Suzy's body was buried in a rural location, somewhere along a route Cannan is known to have traveled. Others believe she was disposed of in a way that ensured she would never be found. John Cannan remains alive. He is currently serving a life sentence for the murder of Shirley Banks. He has been interviewed about Suzy multiple times over the years. He has never broken. And somewhere out there, in a field, a forest, or beneath the foundations of a forgotten building, Suzy Lamplugh may still be waiting to be brought home. The disappearance of Suzy Lamplugh changed Britain. It forced a national conversation about lone working, personal safety, and the dangers women faced, and still face, simply going about their working lives. The Suzy Lamplugh Trust has helped millions of people since 1986. Her name lives on in the work her family built from the wreckage of her loss. But the question that started this case remains unanswered. Who was Mr. Kipper? Where is Suzy? And how does a young woman walk out of an office on a Monday afternoon in London and simply vanish? We may never know, but we will never stop asking. If this story stayed with you, it should. Subscribe. Leave a comment below telling us which case you want to hear next. And remember, some doors, once opened, are very hard to close. Good night.